Welcome back to another Wednesday of Family Life with Mama Rita. I hope you enjoyed your Easter. I did. I really did. I was in church on Friday morning. 3 o'clock, I was by myself going to crucify Jesus. Came back Friday evening for our all night. Oh, what a powerful all night. And all the speakers were powerful. Sunday morning, Sunday evening. Oh, resurrection. My darling, I am resurrected with Jesus. Anything that died in my life, resurrected on Sunday with Jesus. I feel so alive. I feel born again. I mean, I feel that every sickness, everything in my life is over. I feel so refreshed through the Easter celebration. I don't know if Easter Wednesday, Holy Wednesday was last week or today, but whatever it is, today is my Holy Wednesday. And I believe that God is still about to do a miracle in my life. I can feel it, I can sense it, and I can smell it. I don't know about you. If you were not part of our Easter celebration, you've missed a lot. Make a date with us coming Sunday, and your life will never be the same. Oh, but today I want to honor a woman. My spiritual mother, the bulldozer herself. Hey, the woman that breaks mountains. Mama Christido Tete, Reverend Dr. Christido Tete. Yesterday was her 67th birthday.
Wow.
And we celebrated her in grand style. Mama, you are not dying now, no. You are living. We will celebrate your 70th. We will celebrate your 80th. We will celebrate your 90. Ghana salutes you. The Christendom salutes you. And motherhood salutes you. You have made a difference in your generation. And generations after you will remember you. I also want to remember the head of our North American churches, Apostle-elect Emmanuel Agomeda. Happy birthday yesterday.
Wow.
God bless you for what you are doing in America. I was there myself in January. I lived in your house, and I can just tell that success comes through hard work. Sometimes people wonder why you are doing so well in ministry, why Grace to Grace is working. As for me, I tell everybody I meet that Grace to Grace is succeeding because you are working hard. If they want that kind of ministry, they must work hard. Ministry is not for small boys and girls. Happy birthday. May you live long. May the Lord bless the works of your hands.
Amen.
May your ministry grow. May America fall at your feet.
Amen.
May you have a name like your father has a name in Ghana. You are blessed and you are fulfilled. And today, the 13th. Today is the 12th. Why am I going ahead of myself? Today is the 12th. And I want to wish my armor bearer, Alice Ampedunya. Is that, I hope I'm not mentioning her maiden name. I'm Boating. Hey, I shouldn't confuse God.
Don't confuse God. No more Gaza.
No more Gaza. No more Gaza. Alice, happy birthday. I honor you and I cherish you for serving me. Whatever your heart desire is, you will receive. God will give you a testimony that will silence your accusers forever. Get ready for your miracle.
Amen.
Get ready for your testimony. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Trust me, the Lord will place laughter in your mouth.
Amen.
And to Amma Agri, today is your birthday.
Wow.
What a wonderful and a wonderful daughter you are. Happy birthday. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord honor you. May he bless the works of your hands. May your children be what you desire them to be. You are honored. You are fulfilled in the name of Jesus. And then tomorrow is my own daughter, sister, Asabia Amatefio. I want to wish you a happy birthday. I can't believe, sister, you are 40 plus. You are going, very soon, you'll be a grandmother like me. But you are honored. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May you walk in perfect health and long life. May it be well with you, with your husband, with your children. May your children excel, my grandsons. May they excel academically. May they excel in everything they do. May they have a voice in this nation. May they bring you honor and never bring you shame. May they serve your God. You have loved Jesus since your infancy. May they have an encounter with the Jesus you have known. You will laugh. You will dance. It shall be well with you. And from Thursday, when I'm done with you, I'm flying out. All roads leads to UK. Royal Ladies Camp 2023. After the COVID, this is our first camp meeting, and I can't wait for tomorrow. It is my season, and it is my time to laugh. Please, you will join me. We are catching the flight tonight, BA, and we are moving to UK Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you are listening to me in any part of UK, we are having our camp meeting in MK Milton Keynes. The hotel used to be Old Hilton. I'm not too sure of the name now, but I know it was Old Hilton. It is happening there Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and Saturday. Make a date with me, and your life will never be the same. Women in worship, women in prayer, women lifting holy hands, women calling on their Maker, women calling on Jehovah. My darling, as we go for Camp 2023, we are getting closer to God. We will have an encounter with Jesus, and we are coming back with laughter in our mouth. Today, we want to continue with Ask Mama Rita, because when we were done, we realized that we had so many questions we didn't tackle. And my hosts, my guests last week did so well that I decided to bring them back. So I want to welcome to the screen Minister Fabio Wilson and Reverend Rosebond Yorson. You are welcome once again. Last week, you were super. Ooh. And people kept sending me texts. Oh, they are doing so well. They are answering my question. They are this. So I decided to bring you back. Thank you that anytime I call on you, you are ready to come and serve. You are ready to make sure that you are serving people and bringing happiness into homes and into marriages. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And to my co-host.
Yes, Mommy. Mommy, you're looking wonderful tonight. You're looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's no surprise that Reverend Arnold Abraham says, Mommy, I love your nails.
Hey!
Reverend Arnold.
He didn't see anything. Somebody saw my hair. Because I said the person should come and sponsor my hair.
No, he's talking about
He decided not to see my hair, but to see my nails. Tell him the nails, it can be sponsored.
It can be sponsored. Reverend Arnold, over to you.
But Reverend Arnold, you have been such a good son. Thank God for sons like you. We helped you through St. Augustine's. You didn't let us down. We helped you through University of Ghana. You didn't let us down. We helped you through medical school. You didn't let us down. Today, you are a medical doctor. You are Reverend Doctor. And I am a proud mom. God bless you. May the Lord keep you and honor you and take you to the top. Ghana has seen doctors, but they are yet to hear of you. Ghana will hear of you.
Amen. Coming straight from Germany, this one says, we are watching you live, Mommy. Last week, we saw how amazing you were with Minister Wilson and Mama Yawson.
Wow.
We are ready for another informative session.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh,
so much.
I forgot to let you know. Our son and our daughter, Patrick and Nanaya. Patrick and Nanaya. Oh, Patrick and Nanaya, I give you a shout out. Patrick and Nanaya were members here in Royal House at Himfie. Today they are located in Germany. They joined Apostle General and I in Switzerland. And we had such a good time, and it was so good and so nice missing my grandchildren. 2 lovely granddaughters. God bless you. And they say every Wednesday they are glued to their TV. And today they've also become marriage counselors.
Wow.
And every time, anytime people come to them with marriage issues, they tell them, please go to the source. The source is Wednesday, every Wednesday. When you are done with the source, come back, let's discuss. So Patrick and Nanaya, you know we've made you our pastors in Germany. Please, all the anointing, all the power, continue with a good job. God bless you.
All right. Keep your questions and your comments coming through. +233-200-515253. Mommy is ready to answer every single one of them. No matter how soft, how light, how heavy, we are here at the studios, building stable and happy homes. That's what Family Life Series is all about. So wherever you are, in North America, South America, Asia, you are in Europe, all across Africa, Australia, wherever you are, please send them through, and we definitely are going to touch on them. We go straight to our first question for the night. Mommy says, good evening.
Good evening.
I am a junior deacon in Royal House Chapel. My fiancé is a Pentecostal and actually a youth secretary in his church. I really love Royal House Chapel. I was born into this church. My fiancé is also a very good, loving, and God-fearing man, and very committed where he is. But my worry is he doesn't seem to have the interest in joining me to Royal House Chapel after marriage. How do I convince him, Mommy? Please help me.
Wow.
Over to you.
Hey, Mama Rosemont, I don't know how you were able to convince Reverend Patrick to join Royal House. So whatever miracle you perform it.
Okay, for me it was quite easy. Yeah, he was committed, yes, but he was a cell leader. I was a chorister. But he had moved to a different location.
Okay.
So the cell there hasn't started yet.
Oh.
So he was kind of inactive at that same period. So it was easier for him to. And I started by inviting him to Covenant Family. Covenant Family is a group in the church that was started by Reverend Apostle-elect Reverend Derek. And he started by coming for Covenant Family meetings only. He didn't come for service. Sunday
A midweek service.
Yeah. So I traveled out and he was still coming. Eventually he developed the love for Royal House Chapel. So it was very easy for him to come to Royal House Chapel. But like we said last week, it is better for you to, let me say, grab in your church. Then you wouldn't have the issue of where to go. you know. But in this case, you are committed. Your husband is also very committed in his church. When you marry, you follow your husband. That is what you chose. If you can pray for God to turn, Bible says that the heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord. It is he who will turn. If you are able to pray for God to turn his heart to come to Royal House Chapel, then praise God. But if not, my darling, you have to follow him to his church. And then what you can do is come for major programs in Royal House Chapel. When we have Week of the Altar, show up. When we have convention, show up. If you have
Royal ladies
come for our major programs. But Sunday after Sunday, follow him to church.
So I think Mama Rosemond has answered it. But what's the man doing in his church?
He's a youth secretary.
Oh, okay. So if he's a youth secretary and you are also very active, I don't know what church it is. He says it's a Pentecostal church.
Yeah, but I didn't mention whether it was which church it was.
Oh, he didn't mention whether it's a Pentecostal or whatever.
He said it's a Pentecostal church.
Oh, it's a Pentecostal church.
But I didn't mention which type of Pentecostal
if it's a Pentecostal church, then it means that we should have the same doctrines.
Yeah.
In terms of Holy Ghost, Christ, speaking in tongues. I hope so that we have the same doctrine. So, well, if both of you, this is what we teach here in Royal House Chapel, you go to who is active. So I believe that if the woman is more active, then the man must join. But if both of you are active in the churches, then the woman would have to join the man. But if you go and the churches like Royal House Chapel, where you are enjoying the church, there's life in the church, you go to the church sick, you come back healed, you go crying, you come back laughing, why not join the man's church to build the church? But then we always believe in homecoming. Just like when you marry, you leave your father's house, but we are not saying that you never go to your father's house. Anytime the occasions in your father's house, we expect you to go. Christmas, you go home. Your father's birthday, you go home. Mother's Day, you go home. Father's Day, you go home. The first of the year, you go home, homecoming. In the same way, spiritually, we expect you to also come home. So when we have convention of saints, you come home. When we have WMG camp, you come. When we have Royal Ladies camp, you come. Any major celebration in Royal House Chapel, you come. One lady that I love so much, Dr. Betty. Dr. Betty got married to another doctor in Gospel Light, and incidentally, the guy is also a pastor in their church. So we encouraged her to join the husband's church. And she's there. They are doing so well. She's also a pastor's wife. When we had Women in Ministry retreat, she was here. Royal Ladies come. She will come and then, use her services as a doctor. Come any kind of program, she's here. And these are the kind of sons and daughters we are looking for. So, my darling, you can join your husband's church until he decides to be a member of Royal House Chapel. But all we are saying is that even when you are there, don't break your relationship. Unfortunately, that's what others do. They break their relationship with Royal House Chapel. You don't break your relationship with your biological family. So don't break your relationship with your spiritual family. Every now and then, 31st, you are here. Easter program, if you have an opportunity, you are here. All our major celebrations come. When you come and you have a first child, come and introduce your first child. You get a second child, come and introduce. Get a third child. Let us get to know our grandchildren. That is the way it's supposed to be like. And then, just like you follow your husband to his church, I expect that when there's homecoming and you are coming, you don't come alone. You come with your husband and you come with your grandchildren. And as much as you come, you can in Royal House Chapel, December, January is covenant renewal with the Father. So you come with your husband and with your children and come and renew covenant with the Father. I believe that if you do this, you will never miss out on anything.
All right, we'll move on straight to the next question.
Before, I think
sure, mommy.
they realized that I couldn't tell where the camp meeting was taking place.
Okay.
So the camp meeting is taking place in Delta, Milton Keynes. Delta, Milton Keynes. Timbold Drive. Timbold. Timbold Drive. Kent Hill. MK76HL. Milton Keynes. If you are even in Ghana and you have any family member in UK or lives around MK, you can give them the address. Delta, Milton Keynes, Timbold Drive, Kent, Kents Hill, MK6HL, Milton Keynes. Is starting tomorrow, the 13th, through Saturday, the 15th of April. Your life will never be the same.
Your life will never be the same. Don't worry, in UK, in US, when you are giving the address, no matter how complicated, it takes you straight to the place. It's not like Ghana, they will give you house number J36, and you have to comb everywhere in Ashama. But don't worry, this one will take you there. So just take the address, Timbold. Can I make it? Timbold. Yeah. Timbold. We shall be there. Mommy, we go straight to the next question.
Yeah.
Says, good evening, Mama Rita.
Good evening.
Gives the name. Please, I want to ask. I am in courtship with a Christian sister, and we are planning marriage a few months from now. However, she has suddenly developed interest and love for beads on her legs, putting earrings in her nose, colors on her teeth. Please, I want to find out, must I go ahead and marry her, still considering her as a Christian? I have addressed this with her countless times, and it seems no change is coming from this habit. I love all the education you've given in the past. I trust your counsel will guide me do the right thing. Thank you.
Mama Rosamond, being a Christian mother and the pastor in charge of our teen service.
Okay, so I seriously don't think it's all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that is already with her, and she has decided to show it towards the end of the relationship. Maybe she saw that at the beginning she has started that you will probably leave. But I do not think that wearing beads on her leg and then what? Colors
on her teeth.
Earrings in her nose.
Earrings in her nose.
Earrings in her nose. I think, first of all, I think you need to find out where that love is coming from.
Yeah.
Is it because of peer pressure?
Yeah.
Or she's copying a celebrity or something? And then, as the man of Bible says that wash your wife with the word. As the man of the house, or the man who is going to be the leader of the house, and she really wants to be your wife, have a chat with her. Let her know that these are things that do not appeal to you. These are things that you do not want to see in your wife. If she really wants to be your wife, these are things that you don't like. For every couple, I think our primary goal is to seek to make each other happy.
Yeah.
If that act is not making you happy, and you don't feel that your wife should dress like that, then she's drawing away. She's telling you that if you can't accept me the way I am, then I am not the woman for you. You haven't married her yet, so it's not too late. But if you talk to her and she realizes that, oh, you don't like it, and so therefore I will abstain from it, fine. If you talk to her and she tells you that, this is me, take it or leave it, it's up to you to decide, do I still want to continue this relationship or I need to back out? It's a decision you have to take, but you need to talk to her about it. Beads on her leg, and these days the youth, they come up with all kinds of things. And I don't really see as a telling on her Christianity. Doing these things, is she still the good Christian you say she is? Is she still praying and looking up to God? I think as she grows up, some of these things will fall off. If she's a good Christian, like you are saying. Like I said, it could be peer pressure. So have a chat with her. Don't just look at her and make up your decision, take a decision. Have a chat with her and let her know your likes and dislikes.
Minister, you want to add, or you think she's...
I think she said it, but what I want to re-emphasize is the fact that you don't like it means it's a problem.
Yeah.
It in itself, I mean, wearing the beads on the legs, if it's not a bother to you, like she said, it doesn't tell whether someone is a good Christian or not. And so that is not where I want the discussions to go. But the fact that you are not comfortable and you don't like it, that is how the discussion must go. He made mention that he's speaking about it. So I don't know the angle he chose to have the discussion. If you are choosing doing this as a Christian, then you may not be able to succeed, because she would argue that there are people who don't wear it and they're even doing worse things. So that angle may not win the case. But the fact that you don't like it, and if you also choose to do something that she doesn't like, she would also want you to backtrack. So that is the angle you should come from. And I think with that, and like Mama Roseborn said, you should be able to get her to.
So, my darling, wearing of beads and rings in your nose and all that doesn't make you less of a Christian. I don't believe that. Except that most often these people do this because they want some kind of acceptance. And I don't know the kind of acceptance they are looking for. So if you're a young Christian woman out there, even within Royal House, I'm always fighting with the young ladies. I'm saying, what's the purpose? I mean, what do you want to achieve? What is it? You know. So I'm glad this guy has brought it up. So I want you to know that some people look at you with a second eye. I'm not saying it makes you less of a Christian. I'm not saying that makes you pray less or study your Bible less, or you are not living in holiness. That is not what I'm saying. But you see, people look at you and judge you wrongly. You might not be that kind of person they think you are, but they see these rings in your nose, 3 holes, all filled up with earrings and beads on your... They look at you differently. So the Bible says that if your chewing meat will cause somebody to backslide, then don't do it. So anything that might affect somebody else's Christianity, you try as much as you can. And these days, a lot of the young people are missing out on good men. Because there's a man there who is a good man and loves you, loves your spirit, loves your Christianity, and wants to marry you. Looks at these things, the beads, the chain, the 6 earrings on your ears, the nose, and then they think that, meanwhile, you might not be like that. Like Mama Rosebud is saying, it's out of peer pressure, it's out of just looking for acceptance, it's like calling out loud, I am here. My darling, That's the truth. From the angle I see it, I know that a lot of young women are missing out on very good men. And they look at these things and they think, oh, you must be the worldly type. You must be the club type. You must be. Meanwhile, you are not like that. So if it doesn't add on to your life, it doesn't do anything to your life, then don't do it. And you've gotten a man, unless you are doing that to push the man off. But if you love the man and you want the man to marry you, and the man says, I don't like it, just stop it. It's as easy as that.
I mean, when I was dating with Patrick before we got married, I love my makeup. The blue, the colors.
That's right.
I love my makeup, but he doesn't like it. And he kept saying, I do. Anytime I do, he's like, I don't like this. But if I had decided that I won't mind him, me, this is how I am.
Yes.
I like it. And so
You could have ended
I
up
would
not
have-
marrying him.
Exactly. But today I'm enjoying. I'm not doing it. It doesn't make me less of a person.
That is it.
I've
You do
stopped
makeup,
I do
except that you
makeup,
don't
but I don't do
overdo
the
it.
colors.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying my marriage. I have a
Yes.
very good husband.
Yes.
A very prayerful man.
Yes.
And I don't think I will exchange him for
I
colors.
love that. Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
look at what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
If what you want is
Yeah.
in the man,
Yeah.
and the man said, I don't like this,
Yeah.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
So that you have what you want,
Yeah.
instead of trading it
Yeah.
for the rings, and
Yeah.
which will not
Yeah.
take you anywhere.
But I also want to admonish our Christian brothers. I mean, also look at the trend. And don't say, I don't want a woman who wears trousers. I don't like a woman who uses lipstick. I don't like the woman who uses makeup at all. I don't like a... I mean, look at the trend and then adjust. The ones that are very unnecessary, yes, it's not necessary. But the ones that add a bit of beauty, you know, meet each other halfway. Some men too, when you marry them and you are not careful, by the time you realize you are 25, you are looking like you are 45. Don't do this. Don't wear earrings. I don't want this kind of dress. I mean, it can be a bit frustrating. Yeah. But I think that if you are listening to me and you're a fiancé or a girlfriend to this man, you realize that he's not asking too much. He's not saying don't wear makeup. He's not saying don't wear your trousers. Don't use lipstick. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that all the beads on your ankle and the nose piercing, and he doesn't want to, just leave it. Otherwise, you end up missing a very good man.
Amazing.
And to the gentleman, this is not enough to cut off a relationship. Yeah. If you've spoken to her, like they said, it might be the way you said it. Maybe you are saying, no, this one is making you look like an unbeliever. And for her, she's not looking at like an unbeliever. Or you are saying that when you do these things, then you are not a believer, you are not a Christian. And she thinks that she's a Christian, then she won't mind you. But let her understand that you don't like it. I think that if you come from that angle, she will listen to you better.
Great, great. Our next question is pretty straightforward. Mama Rita says, Mommy, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, can a love language change over the course of a person's life?
Minister, can a love language change?
Okay, so let's look at it from the beginning. So it is believed that when a child is born, you actually have all the love languages.
Okay.
So depending on how your parents show love to you,
okay,
then based on your personality type, you may lean towards one. And so, like, God is, and we are created in the image of God, speaks all the five love languages, and even the additional two. Yeah. So last week, we were looking at all the love. So it's believed that everybody can speak all the love languages. But there's the primary one which you will respond to most, and then the secondary one, depending on how, you know, your parents also demonstrated. So if you have a child every time, like you said last week, you come from work and then you give the person a hug, to the child, they are understanding love to mean hug me.
Yeah.
If you go out and every time you come, this is a gift, this is toffee. To the child, you are letting them associate giving of gifts to demonstrate love. So you spend time with them. So that is how it is developed and it is built. I would say it will not change, but you will develop additional language. So if I can speak Chi, I would be able to learn additional languages like French, like German, like Korean, but the Chi will not go away. So that love language will still be there, but you would develop, more in the others. So you may have more than the two, the primary and the secondary, because I would say that will be the answer to this question. I don't know if
I think you've answered it. I think you've answered it. So just like temperament, it's an inborn thing. It's something that is you. But sometimes our environment, you live in an environment where everybody believes in Christmas presents. Everybody believes in Valentine presents. Everybody believes in. So you end up also, liking that. You believe in an environment, in a home where giving of hugs and giving of pegs. And so sometimes you grow up doing that. You live in an environment where there are houseboys and maid servants all around you. And you've been served all your days. Sometimes, some way, somehow, you grow up loving service. But when you watch yourself very, very well, you realize that there's one that, comes tops. So, yes, it's possible that the environment can make things change. For instance, you are the type that your love language is touch. But you marry a woman that doesn't believe in it. I mean, you've tried. You sort of... It goes to hide a bit, yes. So I think that is it. It depends on you.
I also think that per the reaction you get when you give out, you speak somebody's love language. For example, if spending quality time with my husband, I see that every time I spend quality time with him, he gets excited and speaks mine. I continue to do it, and before you realize, you love doing it.
That's right.
If you are not careful, you will think that your language has changed. But it hasn't changed. It's just that you are enjoying the positive feedback you are getting from the people you speak their language to. But once yours is spoken, you realize that it's also there.
It's very true, because my wife loves physical touch now a lot.
Hey!
She likes touch.
So what made her love physical touch? That she didn't used to love it.
It's a work of the Holy Ghost.
It's only sex you are thinking about when we talk about physical touch. Please, physical touch is not all about sex. Please. So if in your mind you think that is there, please. So which of the physical touches does she like? Please.
Mommy, me fell.
On that note, we'll go for a short commercial break and we'll be back. The community I grew up in impacted stubborn fearlessness in me. I grew up as an outspoken child and was often regarded as loud, naughty, arrogant, and rowdy. I was misunderstood and considered very difficult to deal with because I always stated my stance. objected to opposing views, and strongly defended what I believed in.
This is My Story. It's an autobiographical account of the life of Reverend Mrs. Rita Kranji Ankra. It takes us through an intimate journey of her life in a small fishing community, Accra, Ghana, to the global stage of ministry where lives are transformed through the redemptive grace of God operating through His handmaiden. Get your copies now and be inspired. Order online on iBookstore, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble, royalhousechapel.org, or visit any major bookstore near you. For further inquiry, contact the Royal House Chapel office at Obechabi Lamte Interchange, Accra, or call 0302 221255.
Come back to Family Life with Mama Rita. If you are just joining us, we are doing Ask Mama Rita. And, well, we've been treating love languages, where we said your love language, words of affirmation, giving of gifts, quality time, spiritual, educational. Did I miss anything?
Physical touch.
Physical touch. And my co-host says all of a sudden, the wife likes physical touch. I don't know which aspect of the physical touch. Me, the physical touch I know is hugging. So I don't know about the others.
Oh, is that holding hands to pray, mommy?
Holding hands to pray. Oh, okay. That one is spiritual.
Yeah, it produces babies a lot.
Producing babies. Holding hands, you are producing babies. So we will continue with the Ask Mama Rita. My guest tonight is Minister Fabio Wilson and Reverend Rosemary Olsen. They did so well last week, and I had to bring them on again this week. So please stay glued to your TV, and we'll be with you.
Great. We move on straight to our next question. This is a question that came in during last week's episode, and we would want to touch on it. Says, good evening, Mama Rita.
Good evening.
Please, both of us are working, but my wife will always ask for housekeeping money. After I've given it to her, off she goes to work. Where should she go? This man, you sit down, we'll come to you. So he continues, this is where his problem is. Meanwhile, I always make sure there is food items available in the house. Everything that needs to be in the fridge is there. But I would come home often and there is absolutely no food to eat. I sometimes would have to go to bed on curry. Mommy, this is disturbing me. How do I address it?
Wow. Okay, you would answer it from the man's point of view and then from the woman. She's always asking, so if she's always asking for housekeep money, how come there's no food in the house and the husband will have to go to bed hungry or just eat curry? That's where my problem is.
Okay, so I'll go first from the man's point of view. So again, when it comes to finances, in managing the home, it's always good to work with a budget.
Yeah.
Once there's a budget, you have a sense of how much we need to spend and then how much income is coming in. So for all you know, she's asking for money, but it's being used to sort out other bills, and it's not able to get to the food. So both of you need to sit down. Both of you need to be transparent when it comes to finances. How much am I bringing in? How much is she bringing in? Last week, I mentioned when it comes to finances, whatever you earn does not belong to you. It's for us. So we need to look at that. Then we look at the expenditures that we incur. You may identify some of them that you may have to take out because they are not, necessary. Then you can prioritize food and all the others. So from this point, we cannot say whether she's using the money. Maybe there are bills and other things she needs to take care of.
No, but Minister Fabio Wilson, where my problem is, the man says, I make sure there's food items in the house. Whose duty is it to buy food items? Is it because he doesn't trust the woman? So he decides to buy the food items. So I bought rice, I bought oil. You know, typical man will buy rice, will buy oil, will buy sugar, and says there are food items in the house.
If you're lucky, you add onion.
He forgets that there must be onions in the house. There must be fresh tomatoes and pepper. The gas must be filled. The children's snack. You know, sometimes these things. So we are not talking for the woman, but sometimes the woman feels that, yes, there's rice, but what else do we add to make the rice? Or there's yam. What else? Or there's rice. But have you considered fire? Have you considered gas? Have you considered charcoal? Have you considered, you know, so these are some of the things. So to him, there's food in the house, but to the woman, what to add to prepare the meals is not there. I'll leave Mama Rosemond to answer it, but I think you didn't finish. I handled a case on Sunday, Reverend Patrick and myself. Please, I'm only using it to teach others, so don't get offended. Anytime the woman asks the man for money, the man says, I don't have money. In the mind of the man, you are working. You are working. So why should I be giving you money? The woman says, I use my money for A, B, C, D. It's the same money I use for transportation to go to work every day. Sometimes I don't even have money to pick a car. I take a lift, and you have an issue with me asking people for lifts. So I'm going to work, and I ask you for money, you won't give to me. In the man's mind, I am building. And the woman says, if I don't have money, why would you go and buy cement? But the man is very hardworking. He builds himself. He's his own laborer, mason. But the woman thinks that this is not what we need now. We have a place to lay our head. That is ours. You want to do more, to rent it out. Why would you go and buy cement, buy sand, buy this, when I don't have money to even pick a car to work? So a woman like that can come home, get angry, and say, you know what, are we even prepared? We are not saying that the woman is right, but sometimes I think there's miscommunication somewhere. So I don't know if you finished before.
Okay. So like I'm saying, without the budget, sometimes things look very
Which is very
blur. So in his mind, you are working.
Yes.
You earn some amount of money. Maybe the man is able to economize, to be able to save, to buy cement. So he's also expecting that you do same. But when you sit down and you critically look at how much on a daily basis she uses for transport, she does this, then he may realize that, okay, actually, even though you are earning some salary, after taking care of this, there's actually nothing.
Nothing.
So if you don't do that, you will not see, obviously, the gaps that, you know, you may decide now, every month, even with your salary, I may have to top up maybe with this amount, you know, to do this. Then the man may also realize that maybe this amount I am dedicating for the building, I need to cut down to be able to take care of the home. So the budget, anytime you mention budget, people think it is something that is very difficult to do. It's just listing what you think you would be spending your money on for the month versus the income that is coming in, and then see whether it matches. If it doesn't, you need to do some adjustment. Either you need to increase the income side or reduce the expenditure side. And it is something I'll take this opportunity to advise couples,
Yeah.
you know, sit down as a family
Yeah.
and then just draw a family budget
Yeah.
based on your income.
Yeah.
You would see how much that will go a long way to solve some of the quarrels, unnecessary
Yeah.
quarrels that come
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Because where there is no money, a joke that you would have taken
Yeah.
it lightly, now it
Yeah.
becomes a problem. But when you plan well, even with the little that comes in, financially you would have that, you know, peace of mind. And you can, you know, work things out as a couple. So maybe Mama Rosebond will look at the woman's side.
Yeah, for the lady, I think she should be able to bring her money on the table.
Yeah.
If the man is saying that she goes to work and comes to ask for housekeep money, and then the man also buys stuff, and yet still there is no food at home, it means that there is some break in communication somewhere.
Yeah.
How much money do you think I am making?
Yeah.
And for that reason, you believe that even with what you have given me, I should be able to. There should be a communication. Let's talk about it. This is how much I'm making. Maybe I'm making 300 cedis.
Yeah.
And you have given me house money of 100, 200. If I take care of these bills, the money is finished.
Yeah.
And like Mommy is saying, if you buy rice and oil, but as a woman, I believe that even with the little, if it's rice, only rice, do rice water. Let him come and drink. Let him know that for what you have given, this is what I can get out of it. For him to know that, oh, I'm not giving enough. Or if I decide to do the marketing, I'm leaving certain things out. Or for him to say that, you know what, take the money and go and do the marketing so that it will be able to. I always say that whatever you give a woman, the woman can give you double or multiply or give you something beautiful out of it. It's just like the computer, garbage in, garbage out. If the relationship is cool, the love languages are being spoken well, respect is in the marriage, it doesn't matter what you give the woman. She would always make something out of it. Even if it is Gary and granules.
It's possible she's been doing it, but she feels that the man is also taking advantage.
That is why they have to talk
Yesterday, I was talking to somebody. The person said, Mama Rita, yesterday I had to have a meeting with my boss because I want to quit, but my boss doesn't want me to quit. So we had to have a meeting. Her salary is 700. She uses 650 for transportation.
Oh, wow.
So if between her and the husband, they are not communicating, in the mind of the man, my wife is working.
Exactly.
Since the wife dress up every morning,
Probably come even late in the house.
comes late. I'm handling another case where the man goes home and the children are home alone. The woman leaves home by 7, comes back at 11. So I asked her, how much are you getting? She said, Mama Rita, I get 20 cedis every day.
Oh.
So for a woman like this, you see her go in, come in, and in your mind, oh, she's working. She goes early, she comes back late. All she gets in a whole day is 20 cedis. But she thinks that if she doesn't do it, the money you give to her won't be enough. So if a woman like this is pushing, and she comes asking you for money, and you say you are working, why are you asking me for? So for all you know, this woman is also helping, but the man doesn't seem to appreciate, so then I won't do it at all. So like Minister Fabio is saying, I think that it's very important to come together as a couple and discuss. There's nothing wrong with the man knowing the woman's salary. There's nothing wrong with the woman knowing the man's salary. This is what you are getting. This is what she's getting. Okay, at the end of the month, you bring this. let me also bring this. Let's add it together and then run the home. That is number one. Number two, minister is saying that do a family budget. Every month, electricity so much, water so much, children's snack so much, food so much, transportation so much. I mean, when you sit down as a couple to do it, that is when you know where you must cut off certain things. Until then, there would always be blame games. Right. I bought rice, I bought oil. Why are you asking me for upkeep? The woman also says, when the children are going to school, I buy the drinks, I buy the biscuits, I buy children's uniform, I buy their school bag, I buy. Yeah. So you need to sit down. Otherwise, trust me, you would always say that the woman is making you hungry. But the truth is that maybe there's only rice. She's tried cooking rice water. She's tired. So meet as a family, meet as a couple, talk, and then draw a budget and know that this is what you are going in for. Somebody was telling me yesterday, she said, hey, this is 2 days ago, she's developed the sugar diabetes. Yeah. So the doctor says she should eat half kinky. And yet she went to buy kinky, 5 cedis, and the kinky was like this. She said, Mama Rita, only eat half. I ate all.
That's already half.
She said the kinky is like this. My darling, if you don't sit down to organize your life the way things are now, you'll be fighting every day over money. Yeah. You go to the market today, you go and buy this at this price. Yeah. You go the following day.
Inflation is out to the roof.
And if you don't talk, you think that somebody is stealing you.
Yes. Yeah.
You think that the woman is not faithful. These days, I don't know if you people have realized it. The number of husbands who go to the market themselves. Oh, yeah. Chief Papa, I don't know if you've also started going to the market.
No, me, I will always drive her and go and sit in the car.
The number of men with polythene bags in the market themselves. Because they think that when they give the money, the women the money, they don't come back with.
Mommy, I was seeing it, but I thought they were being helpful. But now that you've mentioned, I think it's also to cross-check.
You thought they were being helpful.
It wasn't romance, eh? Yeah. It's not a love language. It's a budget language. It's a budget language.
I thought they were,
showing love.
Act of service.
Act of service.
Instead of, allowing a porter to carry the stuff.
Act of finance.
They will carry it for you. But now that you've mentioned, I think they are cross-checking the numbers.
Oh my God.
But I think any man who is very responsible in the home and is buying gifts for the children and the wife often will definitely know what's happening in the market. Because if you are doing that often on a weekly or a monthly, you would have an appreciation of changes in pricing.
Otherwise, you've been buying gifts a lot.
Oh, mommy, I'm trying.
My son is
I
doing
am my
well.
father's son. Yeah.
With all the physical touch.
Fabio. Well, mommy, we'll go to the next question. Well, the next question is quite a troubling one, and I trust that we'll be able to address this woman's issue. She says, good evening, Mama Rita.
Good evening.
I am only 9 months in marriage, and I'm already filled with so much pain. My husband referred to me as someone's leftover.
Oh, my God.
This was when he got to know about my past life. And that was only when he told me he never wanted to marry someone who has ever had an ex. This I never knew about. As a matter of fact, I am not a sport lady. My husband is only the second person I've ever known. Mommy, he keeps asking himself aloud why he got married to me. Now we hardly have sex because he feels he's having sex with what someone has rejected. He talks to me anyhow and only when he feels like. Mommy, I'm really pained. Please help me out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a troubling one, but it brings into mind the discussion we had last week as to what are some of the things you need to discuss during the courtship. And I think Mommy mentioned one of the things you need to talk about is your past relationship. And if this had been discussed, at that point he would have decided to move on or to, break from the marriage. But now that you are married and this has come up, his reaction is totally unacceptable. Unacceptable. I think he needs counseling. For him to go to the extent of, calling you
Name
names
calling,
and then,
denying sex, not talking.
denying sex. I think you need a marriage counselor to sit him down to explain some of these things so that he understands that, yes, that is your past. You've moved on and you've started. And he's the only, he's lucky to have someone who is, the second. There are other relationships that you'll be dealing with, the fourth, fifth, and they are
fourth even small.
Some have even lost count.
They have been able to move on. I think the most important thing is it starts from when you got to know her. So from that point, has she been faithful? Have you been the only one in her life? Then you need to put it behind you. So to the lady, I would say get help. Get a counselor to sit both of you down and speak to him and explain. If you are in a church, the pastors are available, let them sit him down. Family life, our doors are also open. Mama Rita does counseling every Sunday after church service. You can come over and then this will be looked into. He really needs talking to, because this is just 9 months into the marriage and it's not looking good. So my advice is let's get a counselor involved, let's speak. And then again, anytime we say this on Family Life, sometimes after the show, when I meet people, they say, you guys, you go onto the set and you always say, pray, pray, pray. But the truth is that prayer works. You cannot take prayer out of the marriage institution because this is an institution that is established by God himself. So you cannot do it and succeed without the presence and invoking God's intervention. So pray about this. For all you know, it may be an attack that the marriage is having. So pray about this particular situation, and once you've been faithful, God will vindicate you and speak on your behalf.
But I hope the man himself is not somebody else's ex. Is the woman his first?
I hope so.
Sometimes we play the victim game. So maybe he's going through certain things in his mind.
He's been with a lot of women, messed up a lot of women. So in his mind, if this woman also has an ex, then somebody has spoiled her. But we read the story of Mary. Let me let you finish.
Oh, no.
Okay. We read the story of Mary Magdalene, who had gone into so many relationships and currently was in another relationship before she met Jesus. And Jesus said, even the man you are with now is not your husband. So she messed around before she found Jesus. But after she met Jesus, her life was turned around. My darling, the fact that the man was somebody's ex, or she was other people, not even one person, other people, what has her life been like since she met you? That's what we are looking at. If her life since she met you has been clean, please accept her the way she is. But the lady who is talking to us, I think you yourself, you need help. If you have I don't know if you belong to the same church. If you have a marriage counselor in the church, go and see the marriage counselor and then talk to them or talk to him or her or them. Otherwise, like Minister said, our doors are always opened. You can come and see us and we will invite your husband. There's a lady and a gentleman I gave to you. They broke up for a while. Today when I see them at church, I mean, I'm so happy. Through our counseling and everything, they are back and both of them are so happy, you know. So it's not something very difficult to handle. Just get a seasoned counselor or your pastor or his pastor. Let them come into it, or any endowed elderly or senior person in your neighborhood who is good can handle it. Otherwise, if you are in Accra, our doors are open. You can come to us. The gentleman is not right, but for all we know, he too, it might be something he's gone through that is playing back, you know. Maybe he entered into a relationship, the lady had an ex, and the lady kept going in and out, go to the ex, and I'm sure there's certainly something. Otherwise, having an ex has nothing. Otherwise, some of us, nobody would have married us.
All right. Time is fast spent. I probably will take one or two more questions. Good evening, Mama Rita.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for...
But before
Yes.
you ask the question, so Minister Fabio said it. So that is why before marriage, let your person know about your past. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. I'm telling you, somebody else's poison is somebody else's bread. So if you tell him or you tell her, and because of the past, he says, no, I don't want you. I don't want to get married to you. Please let them go. The one who loves you and loves your dog will come. So it's very, very important before the marriage to be transparent. If they don't want it, it's fine. It's better than going into marriage and then 9 months after marriage, you know, you have such a headache.
All right. Good evening, Mama Rita.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for your teaching on love language.
Thank you.
Because of these teachings, I know my wife's love languages.
Yes.
She loves me to spend so much quality time with her and the children. And she also loves it when I help her around the house.
Wow.
I guess that's acts of service.
Yeah.
When I get tired,
This
man.
laughs. You know that what
There's something coming.
when I get tired and I take a break for what? Spending quality time. All right. He says, when I get tired and I take a break, all I've done previously is no more counted. Welcome to our world. You know that country song? James Reeves. It was a Reeves James, sir. All right. In addition, she tells me I have no language.
Hey. This is the first time I've heard somebody doesn't have the language.
This tells me that they are both watching the program. and he says, I sometimes want to agree. Are you agreeing because you don't want to argue? Why are you agreeing? You just want peace, eh?
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's normal, but I trust that you will address it. But my concern is, anytime I give her feedback on any issue, she feels I am always trying to correct her, and she sometimes will say I am nagging as a man. This makes me feel she doesn't want me to correct her on any issue, which is hardly not my intention. Should I not talk anymore about things when they are not right in the house? How should I approach my wife on this? Please advise, Mama Rita.
Yeah. So let me deal with the first part. So it appears, yes, you've been able to identify her love language. I don't know which one is primary, which one is secondary, but you've identified to quality time and then act of service.
Yeah.
And I can tell that yours is words of affirmation. And because you are not getting the compliment when you speak her language, she is not. So if both of you are watching, madam, the language, the love language of your husband, he has one. And the love language is words of affirmation. And again, like I said last week, when you hear complaints, then that should give you a clue that the person is asking for that because they are lacking or they are not receiving love in that area. So he's not getting the compliment for, oh, you are doing well, you're spending time with the family. Thank you for helping with the chores in the kitchen. Once you do that, his love tank will be full and he will continue. Okay, so that will solve the first part of the problem. Now, the second part that talks about you complaining.
So let him understand that he has a love language.
He has a love language.
It's not possible he doesn't have one. So he shouldn't listen to the wife.
He's choosing peace.
Please don't agree.
The second part even confirms what you are saying.
Yeah.
Anytime he complains or he says something, the wife says it. So he's decided not to talk. So if they say he doesn't have a love language, he will not talk. He's not going to say anything. You accept it that way. But you do have, from what you have explained and from what you've sent, it appears your love language is words of affirmation. And words of affirmation, Mommy said, encouraging words are one. Kind words are one. And so, compliments are also another type. So that should be from your wife to you to help you. Then the second part is where now you're trying to correct. And in leadership, we always say when you're correcting someone, you first start off with the positive. Identify what we call the positive intent. So she's been in the kitchen, she's cooked, and the food is salty. So instead of going straight and say, oh, today's food is salty, you can start off by saying, oh, I appreciate the fact that you stood on your feet for 2 hours to prepare this meal. Start from the positive side. Then she would be open to listen. But if you go straight to the negative, then it appears, so all the time I spent, you didn't see that one. All the cleaning I've done, you didn't see that one. It is only the children having bath. That is the only thing you came and then you've seen. So start from the positive, and then she'll open up, and then she'll be able to, take the feedback, work on it. And again, dear lady, feedback is to help you build and correct and get better.
Be a better person.
And get better. So when the feedback comes, it is not all feedbacks that are positive, but take it as a way of developing yourself and becoming better. And I think it's a very interesting home. And with these, I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy your marriage.
Let me just say that every human being has a limit. Don't just take everything and decide that I won't say anything. One day, what you will say will break the marriage. Just that one day. They say you don't have a love language. Okay, I don't have. I don't like the way you said, okay, I won't say it again. You can't just accept. You're not providing leadership when you do that. As a man, you are supposed to provide leadership. And then your woman will appreciate you for your leadership role. Whenever we are treating communication, I have 4 points. Number 1 is speak the truth. Number 1 is speak. Don't keep quiet. Say something. Number 2 is speak the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to make it look like, it's gray, but the thing is black. Speak the truth. The truth will always set you free. Number 3 is speak the truth in love. You are correcting her. How do you say it? Like Minister Fabio said, how do you say it? You just, because she didn't do it, you just open your mouth and nobody wants to be rebuked. Nobody wants to be attacked. If your correction comes like an attack, I will defend myself. But if your correction comes in love, I will know that you are trying to make me a better person. And so therefore, I would also listen to you and try and correct myself. But if you come attacking me and then the house is dirty and I'm not sitting down doing nothing. Excuse me to say I'm not a fool. So, but something has made it appear this way. So let's talk about it like two respectful, matured adults, and let's see how best. Maybe you have to hold the door so that when I open it, it doesn't hit somebody. There are ways of going about it. And then number 4 is listen. Listen to what, don't just take it that everything she's complaining, everything. Listen to what he or she is saying. Maybe there's some truth in it. That when you pick that point, you'll be able to turn the situation around. So, my dear gentlemen, you have a language, provide leadership, and then watch the way you do the correction. And I'm sure the house will be a happy one.
Thank you so much, my guest. On that note, we will call it a night. I have a flight to catch. Tomorrow, I am starting my camp meeting in Milton Keynes, UK, Royal Ladies Camp Meeting. My first camp meeting for the year. Thank God, COVID is over. We haven't had a full camp meeting, in the UK. This is my first camp meeting in the UK in 3 years.
Wow.
And I can't wait to be there. So please, whilst I'm going, pray with me. I would arrive safely. The camp will be powerful. Everybody that comes to the camp will be blessed. We will feel the presence and the power of the Lord. Every speaker that is coming will be powerful. And, well, for now, my mind is at the camp already. So I haven't decided what I'm doing next week. Whether I'm starting a new topic, depending on how many questions we have, we decide whether we are doing Ask Mama Rita or I am coming in with another topic. But we will let you know next week. Until then, I want to say a very big thank you to Minister Fabio Wilson and Reverend Rose Boniosen. You spent your night with me last week, and this week you're also with me. Thank you so much. From my co-host and all my team members in Powerline TV, we want to say thank you for being a part with us. Thank you for being with us week after week. Thank you for all the messages you've been sending to us. God bless you. And on that note, I say I will see you again, same day, same time next week. We love you.